What's going on, everybody? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Q Lord, aka TheWavMan, man. And today we have a new addition to the studio, and it happens to be speakers, and not only just any type of speakers, but hi-fi speakers. All right, guys. Yes, we are reviewing the SVS Prime Wireless Pro speakers in the studio today. And welcome to this new edition. Let's get right into this. Brang, dang, dang. Yay! What's going on, everybody? Now, as you guys know, I'm an audio guy. If you don't know, well, I'm an audio guy. Listen, with that being said, I'm no stranger to speakers, but in this video, I'm actually relatively new to hi-fi speakers, and I'm glad that I came across these speakers today that I can share with you guys. And today, it happens to be the SVS Prime Wireless speakers. Now, I know a lot of you guys, if you watch me, you know that I'm an audio engineer and I'm making music for listening experiences. So you're probably used to me talking about studio monitors, but in this case, we're actually speaking about a hi-fi, more audiophile set of speakers, which I've always wanted to get my hands on. So I'm very glad that I got them today. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. The SVS Prime Wireless speakers. Well, first of all, guys, why did I even want a hi-fi set of speakers? Well, number one, guys, being a mix engineer and listening to audio all day, we're used to people telling us the first thing that you're gonna wanna do is get a flat pair of studio monitors. But a major problem comes in where people are not getting mixes or masters that translate in the real world, right? Whether you're listening to music in a car, a TV, a computer, or even a cell phone, right? We have a problem with getting translations. This is what a lot of people come to me saying. Now, one of the many things that I see when it comes to the final stage of making music or listening to audio is the mastering engineers have a pair of audiophile speakers, and I always wondered why. Why do they have these speakers that kind of look a lot different? So when I got the opportunity to get my hands on a pair of hi-fi speakers, I definitely took it, and I'm glad I did so I can share with you guys today, the SVS Primes. So let's start off with what we get when we get these speakers, okay? Now these speakers are very, very easy and straightforward, okay, guys? Now what we have on our right speaker is pretty much our whole controls and connectivities, okay? First thing is, guys, you get two pairs of SVS speakers. Now, these speakers are about 11 inches tall, 7 inches wide, and 9 inches deep. These speakers host 5¼ inches mid-bass woofers, as well as two tweeters that are 1-inch aluminum. Now, each of these woofers host a 50-watt amp, which combined in all four of these tweeters equals 200 watts, all right, guys? So there's plenty of power, and when I tell you there's a lot of power, guys, you can feel it, literally. These box speakers might not be the biggest boxes, but I'm telling you, they pack a punch. Now, on the right pair of speaker, you're gonna see an LED display. Now, what is this display, guys? Simply, this display is to show you in what modes that you are in, because these SVS speakers have a lot of different modes, and I'm gonna share them with you right now. But before we do that, we're gonna move to the back of these speakers. Now, on the back of these speakers, you're gonna find our connectivities, okay? Now, on the back of these speakers, you're gonna find an HDMI input, you're gonna find our RCA inputs, you're gonna find our 3.5mm aux, as well as our Toslink optical inputs, okay, guys? So there's plenty of connectivities. Now, when I seen there was no XLR input, I kind of felt like I was missing a piece of myself. But with this connectivity, guys, being wireless, there's no problem because we have Bluetooth, as well as the countless others that I just named for you. But in my case, this Bluetooth came super, super clutch. Not only because it allows me to connect to pretty much anything, whether I'm gaming, watching TV, watching YouTube, streaming audio, or working in my DAW, it works, all right? With very, 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 very low latency. I'm talking about latency that you can't even call latency, because you can't even call it. You can't hear the latency. You can't see it. It's pretty much non-existent. Now, since I've gotten this, I've been using this pretty much the most out of all the speakers that I have, because you know, I'm doing a lot of things during the day, but I'm mostly on my computer. So whether I'm listening just to a quick mix that I did yesterday, trying to hear it back quickly, guys, it's way faster just to connect this up to the Bluetooth really quick or the press of a button at the top of my Mac. Not only that, but it allows me to hear music in a different way. We're used to flat speakers as an audio engineer from what I do, but when I'm listening to music through these speakers, it's like a whole new world. It's like listening to music the way that we actually want it to be consumed, right? Because when we're listening to music through our, flat response speakers, we're listening for different things. We're trying to micromanage every frequency. We're trying to see where things are placed. But when our music actually gets into these other speakers, it can be very revealing because you're listening to it in a totally different way, all right? Now, when I say that I literally played my first record through these speakers, guys, and I felt the bass. Now, without a subwoofer, these things pack a crazy punch. And I'm sorry, it's gonna be very hard to explain to you guys, but in my body, I was feeling the bass. Not just the bass, but I was feeling everything, the mid-range. I was hearing the high ends. I was hearing things that I didn't usually hear in my other speakers. And that is why, in particular, these speakers are gonna have a home in the studio, because it allows me to hear things the way that a consumer will hear things. So it allows me to make different mix decisions and allow me to really reference different music in this way that I wasn't able to do before. Now, these speakers support up to 24-bit, 192 kilohertz of lossless streaming audio. Yes, I said lossless streaming audio. And there's a number of ways we can do this, you know, whether you're plugging it straight in HDMI, whether you're plugging this in different ways, or we do have the app, the DTS Play-Fi. Now, DTS Play-Fi is basically an app that allows you to stream all of your different streaming platforms, you know, your YouTubes, your Tidals, your Apples, everything that you can think of in lossless audio. And not only that, but it is gapless. Okay, guys? So when you're speaking about latency, there is literally virtually sub-milliseconds latency with using this DTS Play-Fi. All right, guys? And like I said, when I'm going straight through Bluetooth, I don't feel it, see it anywhere either way. So there's lots of different ways to get the most out of these speakers. But besides that, like we spoke about a little bit earlier, how these speakers sound is just larger than life. It literally it puts you in the middle of it. Stereo image is amazing with these speakers because we do have our left and right side, but just the crossover between the speakers are just amazing, guys. It puts you in the middle of exactly what you're listening to, how you're supposed to hear it. Now, one of my favorite parts of this monitor happens to be this remote right here. Now, as you can see, this remote right here has a bunch of different buttons on it, which we have our normal buttons on it, which is our connectivity, whether it's HDMI, our Bluetooth, our optical in, or our line in. We can easily switch in between them. But what I really like about this remote and this whole entire system is that it comes with presets. Okay, guys? Now, why are these presets very essential for me? Now, what these presets allow me to do is simply program in preset 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6, things as simple as a playlist from Spotify. If I make a playlist on Spotify of reference mixes that I find to be very good, right? And I want to quickly reference that mix while I'm working in the DAW, I can just press a click of a button and it brings me instantly to those songs that I need to reference. And like I said, when it comes to referencing, guys, this is the main thing that I think that these speakers truly hold. It gives you the consumer listen, right? There's no longer guessing when it comes to if your mixes are translating, is your songs translating, and just hearing things how they're supposed to be heard. So I think that these preset buttons are just clutch when it comes to that, and I will be using these a lot. So my final conclusion is this: these speakers have a permanent spot in my studio on my desk right in front of me, as you guys can see. These sound amazing. It puts me in the middle of what the end is supposed to sound like. This sounds larger than life. I can feel the music. Right? That's the difference. When I'm using my studio monitors from these hi-fi speakers, guys, you can feel the music. Literally, it's like you're in the world of music and sound. This is what they're for, right? They put you with the end consumer, basically the end game of the consumer audio experience in front of you. So no more referencing in the car. Like, you're able to reference actually in the studio. So this is amazing. So that is the SVS Prime Wireless Speakers. I'll see you guys in the next video. Dunzos!